Hey everyone, peace be with you all. How are you doing? I hope you all are doing well. I hope all of you are doing well. So the last time we met, we spoke about unity of Allah, unity of God, meaning the oneness of God versus the Trinity. The oneness of God in the form of three. We discussed and we talked about how you can't have something that you call three in one, because once you say that something is more than one, it's parts. When you say it's more than one, it can never be one again. It's divided in parts. What we're going to be doing today is continuing with the chapter or the section which deals with divine oneness. That was a little subsection. We're going to be continuing with divine oneness using this book right here. You can get this book online. I know it's backwards. I know that it's backwards. This is the book. It's called. I will include the name in the title, in the bio. It's print on demand. You might find it on Amazon. I got it from what's called Lulu, I think, lulu.com. It's I don't know, they call it like print on demand. Basically, when you order it, they print it for you. They send it to you. It's an excellent book. You want to add this book to your collection. It's a hardcover, book. It's not a paperback. This is something you want to add, especially with what it contains. It's called The Establishment of Clear Exposition, a commentary on Al-Hadi, peace be upon him, a commentary on Al-Hadi's The Fundamentals of the Religion by the Imam Rassi Society. The Imam Rassi Society, and I believe they themselves are the publishers. The Imam Rassi Society. So they are the ones who, so the Imam Rassi Society, thanks to them, we have this book which puts basically Zaydi and Mu'tazili creed together. Why do I say Zaydi and Mu'tazili? Because essentially they're the same. So these are these are the correct beliefs. Many people talk bad about the Mu'tazila. You don't hear them say anything bad about the Zaydis. Why? Why don't they talk bad about the Zaydis? More than likely, why? Because the Zaydis are close to us, meaning our Sunni brothers say, may Allah guide them. Our Sunni brothers say that the Zaydis are close to us in order to attack the Rafidah, who the Zaydis and the Mu'tazila, we consider them Rafidah. But they say the Zaydis, but they have some, I don't know if their hatred, they sometimes their hatred gets a bit too high. It's like a hatred. Like, I don't know if it's even really based on, I don't know if they're dislike, because a lot of us, we don't, even the Zaydis, I want to make it clear, Zaydis do not respect Rafidi beliefs. They don't respect Rafidi beliefs. Now, whether they're friends or not is another story. Meaning, if they have Rafidi friends, they don't accept Rafidi. They refute Rafidi beliefs. As a matter of fact, the grandfather of the author, this author, wrote at least two books against the Rafida. One is called Ar-Rad ala Rafida, the refutation against the Rafida, which are the Rafidis, 12-er Shiites or Ja'faris as they call themselves. And then the other one is Ar-Rad ala Rawafid, which both mean the same thing. The other one is the refutation against the Rawafid, which is another way of another plural of the same singular, which is Rafidi. So the Sunnis, when they want to attack the Rafidah, they try to use the Zaydis as they try to befriend them, saying that, not befriend, but rather see them as a kind of ally. Like, the Zaydis are good. They don't talk about the Sahaba. They're good. They don't talk about the Sahaba. So they kind of, once you talk about the Mu'tazila, these are Qadarites, these are Qadaris, these are the Majus of the Ummah, the Zoroastrians of the nation. Well, I don't know if we'll talk about that here in this text, but that's what they said. That's what they said because of the narration of the Prophet where he said that the Qadaris are the Majus of this ummah. The Qadaris, the non-Zaydis, non-Mu'tazilis, they consider the Qadarites or the Qadaris to be Mu'tazila and even Zaydiyah, but they don't say Zaydiyah. They always say Mu'tazila. They always attack the Mu'tazila. They don't say anything about the Zaydiyah, even though the Zaydiyah have the exact same beliefs, except for the imamate. But the imamate doesn't have anything to do with destiny, predestination. Qadar means destiny, by the way. Forgive me if I'm jumping ahead. Forgive me for that, guys. So there's a narration that where the Prophet said that the Qadarites, who I don't think existed in his time, are the meaning a Mu'tazili, or there was no Mu'tazili. There was nobody. There was nobody with this name, with this title. There was no group at that time. So, of course, we believe that the Prophet held the beliefs that the Mu'tazila have. So, he said that they are the Magians, who are basically the Zoroastrians, the Persians. It was a religion mainly adhered to in Persia. He said they are the Magians of this ummah. So Qadi Abdul Jabbar, who was a Qadi, a judge, and he was a Mu'tazili scholar, very intelligent man. May Allah be pleased with him and peace be upon him. Qadi Abdul Jabbar, if I'm not mistaken, said that I believe either he weakened the narration, but he also said even if this narration was correct, he was a Mu'tazili. Qadi Abdul Jabbar was Mu'tazili. He said that even if that narration was authentic, that word Qadari cannot be applied to those who reject Qadar. Because the Zaydis and the Mu'tazila, he's referring to the Mu'tazila, I believe, they reject the Qadar. Not absolutely, but they reject the Qadar in general, meaning that everything is just, it's happening because it was all meant to happen. I was meant to hit my face right now. This is happening because God is making me do it. This belief is not because they call them Qadaris. How can you call someone by a name by something he has nothing to do with? If someone sells ice cream, don't you call him ice cream man? But if someone sells milk, do you call him the ice cream man? If someone sells pizza, do you call him the ice cream man? That's what they did. So they said this goes back to those who believe in Qadar. The way they do, the absolute Qadar. This Qadar. That, Allah wrote it, therefore it's happening because Allah wrote it. We'll talk about destiny in this book. We say that this action was your action. You made it happen. You created it. You produced it. Not because you're a creator. Not because you say kun fayakun. I created something. I'm a creator in the way that God is. No, but because you have something called a nafs, and there's a shaitan, the devil. He inspires you to do something which is bad, and that inspiration causes you to do that bad, evil thing. God has nothing to do with that evil that you did. If that's the case, if God is responsible, what's the purpose of the Day of Judgment? What's He judging you for? Something He made you do? So God is judging you. If that's the case, that He made you do it, then God is the one to be judged. May Allah protect us. May God protect us. Let us begin, shall we? I begin in the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. All praise is due to God. I praise and I glorify Him as He ought to be praised and glorified. So we will go. So we read. As we know, this is a commentary. So we read what the author had to say. One of the things the author, Imam al-Hadi, peace be upon him, he mentioned that He is unlike anything. God is unlike anything. So He is unlike anything. They put it in bold, and then the commentators they make their comments or their commentary in regular font. Pretty standard. I'm just giving you guys I'm illustrating it for you. He is unlike anything. This statement is in conjunction with the previous statement affirming God's unique nature. There is nothing or no one that shares with Him in His divine attributes and essence. This statement forms the basis of the Islamic concept of God. One scholar even said that if one was only taught this simple statement, it would be sufficient to make one's beliefs firm and unshakable. Just this statement. He is unlike anything. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. If I'm not mistaken, you can find that in chapter Taha. It's called Taha, verse 2. I think it is. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. He is unlike anything. Nothing is like him. One scholar even said that it was only taught this, that if one was only taught this simple statement, it would be sufficient to make one's belief unshakable, firm and unshakable. Then Imam al-Hadi said, he has no equal amongst anything, nor does he have an opposite. No equal or opposite. God does not have an equal in that nothing shares anything with him, whether it be attributes or essence. Similarly, nothing is his opposite in that his will is challenged by a will equal to or greater than his. No will can challenge God's will. And no will is greater than his will. We believe God has a will, but God doesn't will evil. We believe only good comes from God. That's one of the differences between us and the Sunnis. Those who call themselves Sunnis. They believe that God's will is both good and bad. We say God's will is good. We say that God can will for you to give charity. We believe that God can cause you to go and give charity or commit a good deed. That's yes. Good comes from God. The proof is in the Quran. If you go to chapter 4, verse 79, Surah An-Nisa, the women, chapter 79, God says that, I don't want to say it word for word because I may be wrong. God says that what reaches you of good is from God, and what reaches you of bad is from yourself. So, good is from God, bad is from you. What is bad is from you. Either something that you did that caused bad to come to you, or something that you did that brought an unwanted punishment from God. Of course, God never punished the Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him and his progeny and his righteous companions and righteous followers. That's not what, but that's how the system goes. If someone goes to hellfire is an unwanted place. It's because of the action of the individual. By the way, I know that I said that it's because of the action of the individual. It's the action. By the way, I know that I said that I would bring that verse which talks about how Jesus doesn't know when the day of judgment is. I forgot, but I will have it next time. I only forgot. I don't back down. I only forgot. Okay, I'm only human. We forget. So, yeah. His will is, so nothing is his opposite, in that his will is challenged by a will equal to or greater than his. There is no will equal to God's will and no will greater than God's will. This belief precludes duality, as we previously mentioned and proved. There is no other will. There is no other God that also wills. God wills and the other one has a more powerful will or equal will. There is no duality. There is oneness, as we previously mentioned and proved. That is not to say that there does not exist a will outside of his own. However, what is understood is that through his infinite power and justice, he allows the existence of other wills that may be contrary to his own. Like, for example, if Satan has an evil will, God allows this to happen. Satan had an evil will, no? Satan had an evil will. People have an evil will. Jinn have an evil will. Jinn are those creatures made from smokeless fire. They can see us, we can't see them. They're what a Christian may identify as a demon. We say they're not demons. some are good, some are bad. If you want to say in Islam, we can't say some are demonic. They are demonic, and some are demons, meaning that they are devils. So that's true, but they are not all evil in the Islamic belief. So some are good. So through God's infinite power and justice, He allows the existence of other wills. So there can be another will, but it cannot be greater than His will or equal to His will. His allowance of other wills contrary to His own is by His will. That's by His will. Therefore, His will goes unchallenged. We go now to the next writing of the Imam al-Hadi's writing. This is because an equal would equal him in comparison. Mukaf meaning it would he would be. Mukaf has something to do with like an equal, a likeness. A likeness meaning that you are like each other. A mukaf, if I'm not mistaken, would equal him in comparison. Mukaf. And then opposite would oppose him in contradiction. Munaf, contradiction. So mukaf, comparison, if I'm not mistaken. And then opposite would oppose him in contradiction. Munaf. He is not from amongst those with comparisons and contradictions. Now we go to the explanation, commentary. That is to say that God, the Exalted, cannot be compared to anything because of His divine uniqueness, nor can He be contrasted from that which is equal to Him. His divine oneness makes comparisons and contrasts irrelevant to Him. You can't compare and contrast God. So there is nothing equal to Him that He can be contrasted from. There is no, like, for example, Satan is here, God is here. Satan is one superpower and God is the other, and they're both, and that's His opposite. There is no such thing. That's what is intended in my understanding. There is no opposite in that way. There is nothing you can contrast Him from. Meaning you can say God is unlike His creation. He's unlike people. He's unlike animals. He's unlike light. He's unlike the trees. But you cannot say that there is an equal to Him in the opposite manner. Meaning that this being is as powerful as God, but from another from another side. That doesn't exist. It's only God. He's completely unique. There is nothing besides Him. Nothing is like Him. Let's finish the next commentary for the next set of words that Imam al-Hadi, peace be upon him, mentioned, and then we'll end this particular part of the lesson, the lesson before the next one. So He does not consist of a body within the boundaries of space. He does not consist of a body within the boundaries of space. Our theologians, meaning in his case, in the Imam's case, the Zaydis, the Zaydi theologians, but it's not just the Zaydi theologians, it's also the Mu'tazili theologians, and also the Ash'ari theologians, and the Maturidi theologians, and also the Ibadi theologians. They said the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. He does not consist of a body within the boundaries of space. Our theologians have classified existence into the following categories. These categories might also be used by the sects that I mentioned. Maybe, maybe not. Our theologians have classified existence into the following categories: accidents, al-a'rad, bodies, al-ijsam, and quintessence. al-jawahir. Accidents are characterizations of physical entities into specific categories and groupings. This would include color, size, heat, coolness, movement, stillness, sweetness, bitterness, dryness, wetness, and so forth. So what that is to say, an accident in is I believe this is used. So this is used in philosophy and kalam. Nothing wrong with using it. What it means is that I'm wearing a blue shirt. If I take off this hat, am I still Sammy? Yes. I put on this hat, I'm still Sammy. So these things are basically subject to change, like color, size, heat, but they wouldn't change the being. So these are called al-a'rad, accidents. Then you have al-ijsam, bodies. Bodies are physical entities that are characterized by and manifest these accidents. So they're characterized by these accidents and they manifest them. So these bodies, they manifest these accidents. So your trying to think of something that's part of you. God forbid you lose your sense of smell. If someone has a sense of smell, they have that sense of smell, but then they lose that sense of smell. They're still who they are. But that nose and that sense of smell is manifested by that body, is manifested by the body, by the physical being, which we call a body. It's manifested. This shirt is being manifested because it's on my back. It's being carried by a body. Something is keeping it on. So that's why, if somebody puts on a ring, the finger holds on to the ring. The finger is holding on to the ring. But, I guess that would be, I don't know if that would be considered, well, it is considered an accident because it's something that is, that can change the appearance of a finger with a ring, a finger without a ring. The finger is manifesting that, the body is manifesting this accident. I believe that can be considered. Or if someone, let's say, gets nervous or bashful and they turn red, they're shy and they turn red, that is an accident manifested by the body. That might be the best example I gave. For example, a rock, they give us an example. So, for example, a rock is a body because it manifests the accidents of hardness, color, size, etc. Quintessence, which is al-jawahir, quintessence is the inner quality of a body that makes it what it is, outside of which it would not be that thing. So it's the inside of a body that makes it what it is, outside of which it would not be that thing. So outside, it would not be what it is unless it has this quintessence. For example, the quintessence of a circle is that it is a shape without angles. If a circle was to have angles, it would no longer be a circle, and a shape without angles could only be a circle. It could also be an oval. But it's okay, they might have forgotten to include that. But it would be a circle, something circular. An oval is relatively circular. So, to some degree, it's round, I guess you could say. So, in any case, the point is, it would not be other than a circle if it had angles. It would be. They could have said either a circle or an oval, but still, once it has an angle, now it's a different shape. It's not a circle or an oval. That's the quintessence, is that particular, meaning without that inner quality, it is no longer what it is on the outside. And they gave us the example of a circle. So if the circle has an angle, it is no longer a circle. It needs that lack of angles to be a circle or an oval. We affirm that, these are still the commentators speaking, we affirm that the Almighty Creator, exalted be He, is not a body, jism. This belief asserts that at no time, whether past, present, or future, does God exist in the form of a body. By this, we mean that God is not a physical entity in which accidents are manifest. God has no accidents because He's not a physical entity. He is not an entity with dimensions like latitude, longitude, height, depth, width, or the like. This would include a human body, animal, tree, stone, water, and so forth. This would also include light, because although light doesn't have a physical body, it does consist of manifest accidents. It has brightness, it has color, it has a speed. For example, it manifests heat, brightness, and so forth. Our belief is proven by both intellectual and textual proofs. And that's what we're going to talk about on the next episode, on the next part of the series, where we go into the subsection, the intellectual and textual proofs that God is not corporeal, that He's not a body. The beliefs I just mentioned, that God is not a body, are also found besides in the Zaydi creed, they're also in the Mu'tazili creed, the Ash'ari creed, Maturidi creed. If I know, I'll mention them. Ash'ari, Maturidi, Mu'tazili, Ibadi. I believe the Khawarij believed in that. The Ibadis they always say that we have nothing to do with the Khawarij. So we'll say they have nothing to do with the Khawarij because they don't like to be affiliated with the Khawarij. They say we're not descendants of the Khawarij, if I'm not mistaken, so we'll go by what they say, regardless of what the texts say. The Ibadis, the people of Tafweed. So the people of Tafweed are those people who don't believe in interpretation of the Quran. Generally speaking, anyway, they don't believe in ta'wil. Meaning that if you say that Allah says He has a hand, they say, we accept the verse, but we don't say it's a real hand. That's what they say, people of Tafweed. I believe the Deobandis are Mufawwidah. You can look them up. They're from the South Asian Muslim community. So the Deobandis, they're Maturidi, but they also have, I've seen some Tafweed. Maybe they're mixed. But people of Tafweed, they believe that you cannot interpret verses of the Quran, verses ta'wil. We will learn about that in here, by the way. If I'm not mistaken, we will. No, I am not mistaken. It is included in here. Ta'wil being necessary interpretation. And I hope those who are mufawwidah will see how you're forced to do interpretation. So they are the ones who say we don't interpret. When God says He has a hand, we accept the verse, but we don't interpret. We leave it at that. I think that it's possible that people like Malik may have been mufawwidah. It's possible. Why? Because Malik said, we believe in the throne. So someone came to Malik. He asked Malik, you can find this is in the Sunni sources generally, Malik ibn Anas, the Imam of fiqh. Malik was asked, Ar-Rahman ala al-Arshi istawa, kayf? The compassionate, meaning God, the compassionate, on the throne He established Himself. How? He asked how. Malik became disappointed at hearing this question. So then he told him, Al-Istiwa ma'loom. There are different wordings, but this is a wording. Al-Istiwa ma'loom. Wal-Imanu bihi. Sorry. Al-Istiwa ma'loom. Wal-Kayf majhul. Wal-Su'alu. وَالْإِيمَانُ بِهِ وَاجِبٌ وَالسُّؤَالُ عَنْهُ بِدْعَةٌ. Malik said that the istiwa, this establishment of the throne, is known or accepted. It's known and accepted. The how is unknown. The how, the kayf, is unknown. al-kayf majhul, is unknown. And the belief in this, the belief in it is obligatory, and asking about it is bid'ah, is innovation. And then he told the person, if I'm not mistaken, in some narrations, maybe if not most, if not some, and I don't see you except as an innovator. And he wanted the man dismissed. I don't know if Malik said that, if he even said that to begin with. Like did he really say that? I mean, it is narrated, it's famous, but I don't know if he really said that, or if he said that because he was under some kind of pressure, or what. But this is what it's funny, because the Ash'aris will use that to their defense. Ash'aris will say, there is no how, or, if I'm not mistaken, they'll basically defend that Malik did not say that it's a literal, because the Ash'aris don't believe that God has a place or time or body, just like us, Mu'tazila and Zaydiyah. So the Ash'aris accept that. Maturidis accept that, if I'm not mistaken. Mufawwidah also believe in that. But the Mufawwidah, I think, will use that as, I think, a defense, saying, we believe that there's istiwa meaning the establishment on the throne, but we don't believe in a how. We don't ask how. They go by those narrations which do exist in Sunni books of tafsir, interpretation of the Quran, exegesis, commentary of the Quran, that say that the companions and some companions and some of the tabi'een, those who followed the companions of the Prophet, who saw the companions but never saw the Prophet himself, peace and blessings be upon him, they said that some of them said, like, I think there's a narration by Sufyan ibn Uyaynah, which is contrary to another thing that he said, which says that the tafsir of the verses that are, I think the verses which are mutashabihat, which are allegorical, which are not like clear, that their interpretation, their tafsir is just reading over them. They say, so that's what they say, the people of Tafweed. But people of Tafweed will learn through this book, and we wouldn't need this great book to tell us this, but they will see. But the book makes it easy because it's all in one place, and not only that, it provides us with knowledge that we don't have. I'm not saying that I know everything that's in this book. I don't. Maybe I know a lot of what's in this book. I don't know. Maybe I learned it all, but I learned it somewhere. But this book has a lot of information that many people don't know. That's why I titled the video the Islam nobody told you about, because nobody knows. Not many people know about this perspective. It's not a perspective. They don't know about Islam. This is Islam. So the Mufawwidah, people of Tafweed, will see. So they don't believe that Allah has a physical body, but they say they want to be, I guess, on a safe side. So they believe that, and even the Imam has said that, people who do this, who don't make ta'wil, there's no takfir on them. They're not considered amongst those who are blasphemers, if I'm not mistaken. Like the Salafis, he considers those who say that Allah has a physical body as blasphemers. I haven't read it in Arabic. I read Arabic, but some words I don't know. But I haven't read it in Arabic, but he considers them blasphemers. They're blasphemers. The word that they use here are blasphemers. Maybe he's referring to them as heretics. I don't know if he goes as far as believing they're kuffar. I believe they're kuffar. The Mujassima, those who say that Allah has a physical body, this is kufr, 100% kufr. They use the term blasphemy, which may mean kufr or just heresy, very severely disobedient, severely deviant, practically kafir, but maybe I don't know, I have to verify this. But the people of Tafweed are not considered, if I'm not mistaken, he says that they're okay. Those people who are, he doesn't use the term mufawwidah, but he basically defines those people who don't make ta'wil, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't believe that he doesn't say that they're mufawwidah. I'll find that and I'll include that in a future video God willing. So next time we'll talk about the intellectual and textual proofs for why God is not a physical body. Until then, take care, keep safe. I'll see you next time, God willing. Peace be with you. And thank you for watching.